Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How's
Good.
everything in London today?
It's very good. It's very sunny. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Having quite a busy day, but it's good.
Yeah, right. Well, we have some time difference between us because you're in the afternoon and I'm in the
Yeah.
morning, but thanks for making
Yes.
time to talk.
No
Okay, so
worries.
so let's get a little bit of information about you. Tell us a little bit, who is Emily Hartridge and what are you all about and how did egg freezing become part of your life?
Yeah, I guess I'm a YouTuber, presenter, comedian, personal trainer, loads of different jobs. I'm 34. Um, what I'm all about, I'm all about fitness, mental health, comedy, not always at the same time, often individually, sometimes together. But I like to talk about mental health a lot, and I like to talk about relatable topics, and I like to make people feel less alone and not be one of those people on Instagram or YouTube that just does all their like best lives and doesn't say how they're feeling or what they're really doing. And I'm the opposite to that. So I'm all about that really. And a few years ago, my mum offered to me. She watched a program on egg freezing, and she offered to freeze my eggs if I wanted. And it was the first time I'd really even acknowledged it was a thing. I thought it was a bit like an urban legend, like didn't know anyone that had done it. I didn't really know anything about it. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. That's really kind. And I forgot about it for a while.
So she
And
offered to
then,
pay for your entire cycle.
yes,
Wow.
yeah.
It's very
And
generous.
it was very, well, to be honest, at the time, I didn't actually know how much it cost. And then a year later, my friend went to get some fertility tests. And it made me realise remembered what my mum had said to me. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go and get some tests done, see if it's all okay. Because I assumed, I had periods every month. I was very healthy, fit. I thought I'd be fine.
Right.
And then the tests came back as not good at all. Like I had really low fertility for my age. And it's not that I'm 34 and that's why. It's just that it was just,
It's your
my body.
genetics. It's your genetics just are
Yeah,
predisposed
exactly.
to early
Yeah.
ovarian reserve loss.
So that was kind of really shocking, and it took me quite a while for that news to kind of like sink in, really, I guess. And so obviously the doctor said at the time, I would advise you, if you can, do 3 cycles, because doing one's a bit pointless for how low my follicle count was and the AMH levels. So then, yeah, I kind of spoke to my mum, and obviously it was a lot more expensive than what we all thought because it was 3 cycles. But
So
kind of,
wait a second. Did you negotiate a package with the clinic and get 3 cycles for like a set rate or
uh, yeah, so the price was just what it was. There wasn't really any negotiating.
oh,
Yeah, so yeah, I just signed up to do 3 cycles, and I've done 2 already, and I've got 1 left to do in June.
interesting. So how were the results from your first 2 cycles?
So the first cycle, I really did everything by the book. So I didn't really drink. I treated my body as a temple.
Right.
I got acupuncture. I was careful with exercise, all that kind of stuff. And I froze 3 eggs. And then the second cycle, I drank wine a bit of the way through. I exercised when I wanted. I didn't do any acupuncture, and I got 5 eggs.
Oh.
So I don't know if I was just more relaxed the second cycle, and that's why I got more. But also, every cycle is so different. So
Yeah. Yeah.
my friend froze her eggs when I did the second time, and she had to abandon hers because something about the hormones overstimulated a follicle, and then it made the
A
other 2
monster
follicles.
follicle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
that's
like
so
that.
common. That's so common.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that, and obviously she was really sad. So I realized how lucky I was that I got. I know that 8 from 2 isn't a lot to some people, but to me that's a lot.
Hey, listen, it's better of a chance than you had before you had egg freezing.
Exactly.
Now, does your mom really want to
Exactly.
be a grandma and that's why she heard about it and was encouraging you to freeze?
No, she's already a grandma. My older sister
Oh,
has 2 kids. Um, no, I think she just Well, I was single at the time, and I think she obviously felt a bit sorry for me. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I think she was just saying it to be kind, because she's got grandkids, so she's fine on that front.
Yeah, but she wanted you to be okay, so that's very thoughtful.
Yeah,
Well,
it was. It was really nice.
So you had a big article that came out. I think it was in the Sun, and
Yeah.
the headlines, obviously we don't get to choose them, right? But they
No.
had something on the aspect like that we were, or that help me out here, that like something about like being sad or desperate or
Oh, so the Sun's article was not the one you're
Tinder.
talking about. There was another one in Australia. It was on their biggest news site, and it said hopeless woman.
That's right.
Hopeless woman takes drastic measures or something
and
like
freezes
that.
her eggs.
I mean, the thing is, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like, I understand that, you know, they need catchy titles, but
yeah,
that's just so, like, offensive
well, it's very
to so many women.
Well, yeah, and then it like perpetuates the stigma that egg freezing is
a terrible
something
thing.
Something, oh, heaven forbid that you had to freeze your eggs. I think it's like, I don't know how you felt when you froze, but I felt like empowered.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like I took control of a situation that I wasn't in control of. And I feel so proud of myself that I've done 2 cycles, because it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Like, it's a lot emotionally, physically.
Totally.
You know, I found it all really hard.
Yeah.
But, you know,
how did you do on the hormones? Did you feel the effects? Did you have bloating?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was definitely really bloated. I felt quite tired.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I felt more emotional after everything. Both times.
Coming off the high.
Yeah, exactly that. And also, when I had 2 friends that were doing freezing their eggs at the same time as me, and I was on the most amount of hormones out of any of them.
Really?
And obviously, you don't really know what they're doing to you. Like, you're just injecting yourself, and
right.
You're just like,
you're following orders.
And then trying to carry on with your normal life after, but you're like, oh, I don't know, what's going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so when you did it multiple times, do you feel better about the multiple cycles? Like, or are you kind of like sad you couldn't get more eggs each cycle?
No, I mean, to be honest, going by what happened to my friend, I'm just really pleased that both of the cycles have worked in the way they were meant to. And obviously I hope to get the same amount. The aim of the doctor was to get 10 from 3 cycles.
Okay.
And obviously I've got 8 so far, so, you know, I'm hopeful.
Well, imagine,
but again, you just don't really know.
Yeah, and imagine if you had never really explored this option, and then all of a sudden your age did creep up, and you want to have a child with somebody, your parenting partner, later. Like, that might not have even been an option.
Well, how I justified it was, though, obviously, luckily, you know, I was fortunate enough my parents could pay, because I wouldn't have been able to afford it. But, you know, I justified it in the sense that rather than the next 10 periods losing those eggs, now I've got them.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, totally. So, so you do a lot of fitness, and you talk very openly about like depression. Can you share with me a little bit about like why you're so open with that, and how that affects like talking about egg freezing too, or if you felt like there was any correlation to the two? Like, did the hormones make you feel like you were more depressed, or did?
I talk a lot about mental health, because when I was at my worst, the only way I was going to get better was by talking to other people who had gone through similar things, because without other people and knowing their recoveries, you know, having hope is quite difficult, because you don't know things can get better.
Yeah.
So I like to talk about it, so other people who are in similar situations to what I was knows that things can get better.
Yeah.
And not to give up and all that stuff.
Do you think it was like genetic, or do you think there was something in your life that caused it?
I think I was slightly predisposed to it genetically, And I guess I've always been very sensitive, like always.
Well, you put yourself out in the media so much. I mean, you have so many followers on YouTube, and you're like this rising star on Instagram now. And it's almost like you're subjecting yourself to criticism or ridicule or negative comments. That's got to be
I mean, anyone that opens themselves up online, that's just how it is. I mean, to be honest,
does that bother you? Any of those comments?
YouTube is like a whole other ball game. I mean, I don't really read the comments on that because they're actually ridiculous. But Instagram, I find, I mean, 98% of the time I get really lovely comments. Yeah. It's just a very, very small percentage.
Yeah. So what was the feedback when you started sharing about your egg freezing experience? Was it positive or?
It was really, really, it was really positive. I mean, I've had like one or two,
weirdos.
Just been like, oh, your mummy paid for it, that kind of stuff. I've had that. But honestly, it's been amazing. I've had so many people message me about it, saying thank you so much for talking about it. You've really helped me go and find out about my own fertility, or now I feel less nervous about freezing my eggs. So it's been really nice overall.
In the UK, do they have, like, when you were going through your education process, do they have a very good, like, fertility, family planning, sexual health conversations?
No, we had nothing. No.
Yeah. So how do you feel like you learned about all of this, besides like your mom just passing it off on you?
I didn't really know anything until I went to the doctor, the fertility clinic, and just chatted to them and asked loads of questions.
Yeah.
And I was basically the guinea pig for anyone I knew.
Right.
To do it.
Right.
So I didn't. I mean, I still don't really understand everything about it, to be honest with you.
It's overwhelming, right? I mean, there's a lot of details that can happen.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm also fine not to know everything. I mean, when you have the egg collection, you're asleep, and I'm just like, I don't really know what's happening down there, but that's fine. Like, yeah.
What would be like some advice you would share to someone that's thinking about maybe going through the egg freezing process?
I would say kind of prepare yourself for. I would say not to have big, high hopes about how many you want to freeze or anything like that. Just take each day, because, you have all the scans, and some scans don't go very well, so you can feel disheartened, and then some scans are amazing. So you need to know it's up and down, and also take that time to, like, take care of yourself. Don't, like, rush around and do loads of crazy things when you're doing it, because most of the time I just kind of wanted to relax and chill out as much as I could, really.
I wanted to too. That's so interesting. I was totally okay if I didn't even leave the house.
Yeah, it's a lot, and also you have to do the injections at certain times. So taking the kit out with you and injecting yourself on a loo in a restaurant is just a bit annoying. So
right, yeah. Well, that's really fascinating. So now that you've been public about it, are you getting a lot of different media requests and people wanting for you to share your story, or do you feel like that part's over now and you said your piece?
No. Yeah, no, I love talking about it. I'll talk about it as much as anyone wants me to. I've definitely had quite a few people ask me questions and, online papers and that kind of stuff, but I love talking about it. I love talking about anything that people aren't really supposed to talk about.
I do love that about you. I kind of have this mini girl crush on you, because you do just say exactly what's on your mind, and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't offend anyone, I'll say kind of what's on my mind.
Yeah, within reason. So, you have this really great fitness routine, and so you would think that how could you have low AMH or ovarian reserve? So it must be genetic, because you're really healthy.
Yeah. I mean, they just said I was born with my lot, and that's just so. In a way, it's nice because it's nothing I've done, or it's just my body, and you just don't really know until you actually go and find out.
Yeah, so you were single for a long period of time. Now you're dating.
Yeah.
And do you feel like you would ever become a single mom on your own, or would you always want it with a partner?
I mean, obviously, in an ideal world, I wouldn't be a single mum. Yeah, it's a big question. I don't know. I think because I'm not at the age where I'm dying to have a kid now, it's hard for me to. If I was in a position where I was like 39 or 40, then I'd probably have to seriously think about.
Yeah, but we have more
I was
time.
actually going to have one.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm a very like day by day person. I don't ever know. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So
right.
But obviously, in an ideal world, it would obviously be with someone.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So how is dating?
So I have a boyfriend.
Yep.
I actually met him like 2 weeks before I started my first cycle.
Wow. So did he go through it with you?
Yeah. It was actually nuts that happened. I mean, I met him at a time where I didn't want to meet anyone. Like
typical.
I was like, no, I'm, nothing about boys. I don't care. I'm just doing this.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's been actually quite difficult in that sense because it's been really full on and there wasn't really time to date properly. It was like, bam, you're kind of caring for me because I was really nervous the first time and I didn't know what was going on. And
did he think, what did he think of the whole egg freezing process? Did he think it was cool? Did he think it was like, whoa, you really are committing to motherhood? Or what was his thoughts?
He thought it was amazing, really brave.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, no, he's been amazing. He's been like the best carer during each cycle.
Well, it's almost like you're really seeing like when you're sick mentality before you're not that you're sick, but I'm saying like the idea of being sick, like how he would be in that kind of relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Situation.
And I mean, I couldn't have done them without him actually. I mean, I would have, but
it was nice to have him there. So so it was nice to have him there.
Yeah.
So did that kind of bond you guys? Did you feel like you were bonding?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was probably the weirdest start to a relationship you've ever known, right? Like that doesn't really ever happen like that. But
well, it brings up the topic of sex and family and childhood and what you want.
He's younger than me, so that was always a topic I was always going to have to bring up at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, because I'm 34 and he's 27, so
that's not that big of an age difference. I mean.
Well, no, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I don't really care about age as long as someone wants similar things to me.
Right. And maybe the timing of when those things would happen in your timeline.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for you, Emily?
What is next? I'm planning a podcast.
Yeah? Fantastic.
I'm planning a fitness event for a mental health charity.
Okay. What's your podcast going to be called?
I can't really say stuff about it, but it's going to be with my sister. It's going to be with my 3 sisters.
Fun. They're going to love that. That's going to be a really fun podcast.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know. Really you'll have to let us know what you end up, calling it so we can put all the links below and people can start following it.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be made for a while. So
I know. These things take time. It just doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. You need people.
Yeah, exactly.
And time to record. Yeah. I'm sure it's really hard to get all 3 of you guys in one room.
There's 4 of us. So
4 of you.
Harder, yeah. I mean, it's gonna be difficult, but I think it should be really good.
That's a lot of voices.
And too many, a lot. Yeah.
Are your sisters super opinionated?
Yes, they are. We all have our own opinions. It's going to be a bit mental, I think.
Yeah. What were the subject topics that you're gonna?
It's going to be like from serious to fun. So like, should you have sex on the first date? Or stuff about bisexuality. It'll be loads of different topics.
Neat. Cool. Are your sisters married? Or, I mean, you said there's some
2 are married.
Yeah. Okay. Because you said there's some grandchildren involved. So cool.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of us.
So I'm sure you have like fun being an aunt, and
I love being an aunt.
Yeah.
I love kids. Like I've always been very maternal, which is also kind of why I froze my eggs because at some point.
Yeah, that would be nice to have that option. Yeah, it's great. Well, we'll have to keep up with all of your deets on, the new stuff you're doing. I think just how your voice has really just been out there in the public is so amazing.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
we can't get enough really great content around egg freezing because, like you said, the news just loves this, this
Yeah.
desperate woman, baby crazy woman,
Yeah.
sperm shopping, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But I don't think that's why we're doing it. I don't know about you, but I think it's just because we want options and the technology exists. So why wouldn't we use it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm all for it. And I think the more people can talk about it, the better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, this is fantastic. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today.
No worries. Thank you.
Well, when I get over to the UK, when I fly over and get to your side of the neck of the woods, I'll reach out to you and say hi.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
We'll go get it. We'll go to a pub and get a beer.
Yeah.
Or maybe work out. Who knows? I would love to get onto some of your fitness routines. I like all your boxing and stuff. You do some really fun stuff.
Yeah, you can come down and do a class.
Oh yeah. Do you teach classes too?
I teach circuit classes. I don't teach boxing.
Wow. Cool. Fun.
But yeah, you can come down.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks so much, Emily.